Hello and welcome. I'm Hallie Cottis, founder of the Women's Startup Academy, and I'm super excited to jump on a topic today that's near and dear to my heart. And it is the one secret that brought me 3 million page views and landed me a book deal. So we're going to dive into that today. I'm going to show you a couple examples of how I was able to accomplish that. So let's look at this, okay? So we're going to be talking a little bit about SEO, search engine optimization, and people tend to overthink this, like way overthink it. And bottom line is the secret to it is that you have to solve a problem that needs to be solved, right? So if you're just putting content out there and you're not solving someone's problem, if you're not creating solutions that need to be created, then they will not look at your post. So you have to benefit them. I talk about this all the time, is that you have to give them a benefit. You have to help them, the people, your readers, and give them value for them to keep returning, okay? And this is how I was able to do this. Okay, so I'm going to come in here. Excuse the ads. This website is ad driven. That's how I make my money on this website. This Whole Lifestyle Nutrition, it was my business that I started in 2011. It is still active. I still make money on ads. However, I no longer write for it. I am putting my focus into the Women's Startup Academy and Hallie Cottis Photography, which is where my passions lie. And this one will slowly, I'm just slowly letting it go, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'll get into another video on how I made that decision of letting a super successful website go, but that'll be another video. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, okay? So the first thing I want you to understand is that when you do have an idea, you are creating a solution, write about it, okay? And don't overcomplicate things, okay? So if we look at this, the one post that brought me over, I've gotten over 3 million views to this one post alone. It has made me tens of thousands of dollars in ad revenue just by when you get 3 million views, and I have all these ads on my site. I always say I pimp it out with some ads, but that pays, that's what paid my salary. And then it landed me the book deal. And how I got the book deal was my publisher was looking for natural solutions online. And when they Googled it, it was the very first one with canker sores, how to get rid of canker sores naturally. And they saw that post and they reached out to me and said, hey, we're a publishing company. Would you like to do a book on natural solutions? And that's how my book came about, right? So once you get to that level where you're ranking consistently within Google and you're starting to show up on page 1, that's where your business will explode. And that's where a lot of things can change for you. So I will talk consistently about search engine optimization and ways that you can get found organically, because I think it's very important and it grows your business like nothing else. Okay, so let's talk about this post. Okay, so we come down here, and I think I wrote this post, I don't even know, it was probably 8 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. I don't even know. It's outdated. It still doesn't get as much traffic as it. Google made some changes, and so the medical, like WebMD and stuff, really gets priority now with site posts like this. So, but it had its life, and to say that it was probably on page 1 of Google for at least 8 years is pretty impressive. And the 3 million views as well is pretty impressive. Okay. So basically what I did is I took I noticed that my kids or some people I knew, they were just like, gosh, I keep getting these canker sores. And I thought everybody knew this trick. And it's something that I grew up as a child. My mom would get the alum. For those of you who don't know, alum is used to make pickles. And what it does is it pulls the moisture out of the cucumber, and then you can pickle it. And that's the magic ingredient to pickles. Well, when you have a canker sore, it's in the inside of your mouth here. It's very moist in your mouth, so you have to draw that moisture out of the canker sore. And when you put the alum on it, it happens instantaneously. instantaneously, and within 30 seconds to a minute the pain goes away and it dries it up, and the actual ulcer might take a little while to go away, but the pain is no longer there. So it's like the magic secret that a lot of people oddly don't know. So the first thing I could say is, again, you have to solve a problem, and you have to solve a problem that needs to be solved. People obviously were searching about how to get rid of canker sores, and 5 years ago it was really big to do things naturally, and I knew naturally was a big keyword for me. So anyways, title your post, and this is so important. Title your post so that it creates curiosity. It piques someone's interest. You're like, oh, wonder what that is. How to naturally get rid of canker sores in minutes with no medicine. And they're like, what? I can get rid of it with no medicine? Okay. And so then I just go down and I said, what is a canker sore? I just did a post on how to create content. I've been creating content this way for 10 years. Okay. So if you didn't get a chance, you can go to my website and Women's Startup Academy, and you can go to my blog and you can get the post on how to create content. But the first thing I do is I start with an introduction. I go over what a canker sore is. And then I went down and I said the symptoms of a canker sore. A lot of times people think that canker sores are fever blisters. So I share with them that they are not. And then I get into the actual solution, and I talk about the alum powder and where they can get that. And of course, I've linked these. Another secret, when we link as bloggers, we get paid every time someone purchases. So not only did I make money with the ad revenue, but I also made money with Amazon behind the scenes, because this was my number one item that people purchased through Amazon, and Amazon pays me a commission to actually link to their website. So I made a lot of money that way too, behind the scenes. Okay. And then how to naturally get rid of canker sores. Okay. And then of course, what I want to say is, being that post got so much traction, once I wrote the book, I came back and I piggybacked off of that traffic, and I said, okay, anyone who's interested in naturally healing canker sores is also going to be interested in my new book, which is Natural Solutions for Cleaning and Wellness, right? So I put this in here and I talk about it, and here's my candle, no wick candle that's in the book and stuff like that. And I give them these solutions that are in the book, and then this helped with the sales of my book. Okay, so as you see, I solved a problem. I created curiosity within the title, and that's what landed me on page 1 of Google. So you don't have to overthink it. Here's another one. This is a great example. Follow this one tip in your garden and get a ton of organic strawberries. Okay, for anyone who's a gardener out there and you've tried to plant strawberries, you might get 3, 4, 5 of these tiny little strawberries. And it was like, I was a gardener and I was frustrated with that. I was like, oh my gosh, trust me, when you're frustrated and you see yourself, find a solution. That's all you have to do. You find that solution and you solve that problem, and then you go back and you tell others how you solved it. Okay, and that's exactly what I did. This is my second most popular post. It got millions of views as well. Not as much. I think it got closer to 2 million views. However, there was a couple things if we're talking marketing. First, again, my post it creates curiosity. Follow this one tip. Oh, what is that one tip? Okay, so you have to create that curiosity to pique someone's interest, right? And then 2, the picture, and I know this sounds crazy, this did super well on Pinterest. Pinterest is a search engine, so is YouTube. Don't think Google's the only place to get traffic, okay? So this did really well, but I think it did because of 1, the title, and 2, the picture. It's red. Red is great for marketing. It attracts people. It's bold. When I do my branding sessions with my personal branding sessions with my photography clients, I'm like, okay, bright colors, not black like everyone thinks. Give me some bright colors, pinks, reds. Okay, that's another little quick tip there. But anyways, same thing. I went through and I explained to them the different kinds of strawberry and varieties. I'm educating them a little bit about strawberries. And then I come down here and I just come down and I give them the solution, and I do it through pictures. See this? This is a runner. Okay, if you grow strawberries, this is what I taught them. These runners pull the energy from the main plant. You have to cut these runners. You think, oh, I don't want to cut them, but you have to in order for the plant to get the energy it needs to make strawberries. If you let your plant have tons of runners like this, it will not produce strawberries. Okay, and then I show them exactly how to clip it off. It's very visual. Again, you can scan it and understand what I'm teaching. Okay, and then I show them exactly, cut it off, and then you're going to get a ton of strawberries. So now, again, this one got a ton of traffic, so I piggybacked off of that traffic, and I said, okay, they're interested in that. Well, the same applies with tomatoes, okay? And tomatoes are the number one thing grown in United States gardens, okay? So I thought, okay, most people don't know that when you have, this is like a runner of a tomato plant. When the tomato plant, the main stalk, they create these little babies, and you have to pinch those off. And I had one plant in one season produce 30 pounds of tomatoes. And I'm not kidding you guys. One plant, 30 pounds of tomatoes, one season. And the way I did that was by removing this. So the point is that this title worked, follow this one tip and get a ton of organic strawberries. It worked. So why not say follow this one tip and get a ton of organic tomatoes? And it worked a second time as well, because if you find something that works, use it and use it in other applications and other post titles, because that is bringing people to that. Why wouldn't it bring it to another one? And it worked. And then piggyback off of that and lead them to the next part. If they're gardeners, because they're growing strawberries, they're most likely growing tomatoes. So I lead them there, and this was another huge popular post. So don't be afraid to add value at the end and allow this to be your call to action, because ultimately we want people to start building relationships, start building trust, and start saying, oh my gosh, this person has a ton of stuff to offer, and then they start to follow you. Okay, and then my organic gardening section on this whole lifestyle nutrition was huge. It became bigger and bigger because I just kept providing value, and people started to trust me because I was actually getting them the solutions that they desire. So the biggest secret is you have to create a solution. You have to solve a problem, okay? And it needs to be a problem that's solved. Use your own experience. What problems do you need solved? And if you're like frustrated and you're Googling it and and then the other big thing I want to tell you guys also is, like, when you're titling a post, title a post for, this is just an off the subject kind of thing. Title a post how you would search it in Google. So like, how do I get more strawberries, right? But then I threw the curiosity button in there. So if someone says, how do I yield more strawberries, or how do I get more strawberries? It's all in here. Follow this one tip in your garden and get a ton of strawberries. Get strawberries would be, a key word. So anyways, so just title your post. Think of how you would type that into the search engine and kind of use that as a guideline to title your post in order to optimize your search engine results, and then also add the curiosity in there, and you'll be winning. So you guys, that's all I have today on this topic. If you like this topic, I have a free workshop I invite you to. It's for anyone who has an existing business, or if you're thinking about starting a business, an online business. It gives you a lot of tools that you can use to get started, or tools that you can use if you have a business to excel and start profiting off the business you have. So I'll put a link below this video. Be sure to check it out. It's got a ton of value, and it's a free. So why not check it out, right? So that's all I have for now. I'm Hallie Cottis. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.